Hey guys, Nick here with Gear Nut, and Flashlight Z has done it again. They sent down another fantastic light for us to check out. Now this is the Klarus G10, and I must say I am in love with the Klarus G series. You know, I really like the dual switches. I like the side switch because it's got a battery meter on there. It's got mode memory, so whatever I turn it off, it's going to remember what mode it's in except for strobe and SOS. I don't accidentally want to turn it on in that. I really want to choose those specifically. And it has access to your strobe. You know, you just click real quick and it'll take you there. And the tail switch is freaking awesome because a single click on your tail switch really takes you into low. And if you push and hold, it turns it off. So tap, turn on, push and hold, turns it off. And it goes to low every single time unless you push and hold. So it has instant access to low. If you push and hold, it goes to instant turbo, and as soon as you let up, it turns off. So it's just one of those momentary turbos. And I absolutely love that, you know, because no matter what situation I'm in, I can instantly access the mode that I want. Now let's say I turn it on and I want to cycle up into another mode and just leave it on. I can do that by just tapping. It'll go through and it'll go low, medium, high, turbo, and then it goes back to low. Push and hold turns off. It's the same functionality over here except for on your side switch, it remembers wherever you turned it on. So you tap it, and I was in turbo, tap it again. So low, medium, high, turbo, and tap it again. Push and hold, it'll turn off. So you tap it to turn it on, tap to cycle through the modes, and push and hold turns off. I really like that user interface. It's really simple. You hand the light to somebody and you just say push and hold to turn it off. And then they can just tap and they'll find the mode that they want. There's dual switches, so it's pretty cool. It has lockout, so you just take and press both buttons. It'll blink a couple times to let you know it's in lockout, and your battery meter over here just blinks red. So just rapid tap a bunch of times, it blinks, lets you know it come out of lockout. So there's a whole bunch of features in here. You know, they even got a micro USB port over here for charging this light on the go. You know, it's like, wow, this thing is nuts. But the thing that I can't really get over is how much lumens are coming out of this little compact light, you know? So let's go over the actual power outputs. So your low is going to be 10 lumens. It's going to run for, gosh, I want to say 170 hours. And then tap it again, it's going to go up to 100 lumens, and that's going to run for 14 hours. And then you tap it again, that's going to be 400 lumens for 4 hours. And tap it one more time to your turbo, and that's going to be 1,800 lumens for an hour. Now, of course, the light is going to get hot at that point because there's not like really big heat dissipation fins on here. The head's not sized to take that. So it's going to go into ITS. You know, that temperature control system is going to kick in and downgrade your light output. So you're not going to get a super long runtime with that 1,800 lumens. It's just physically impossible because of how much heat that LED is going to be emitting and creating. So if you're going to buy this light, I wouldn't buy it thinking that you're going to run it on 1,800 lumens for a long period of time. You know, you might get a couple minutes, but this light does get extremely hot because of how much light's being put out. But if you do need it, it is there. It's just not going to run forever because of how much heat it's going to be doing. It just creates a lot of heat. This thing gets hot. I'll just tell you that. It gets hot. But that's because that's a lot of light coming out of it. So I really like to see that Klarus stepped up the game. You know, they put in an 18650 battery, but they didn't like include a low-end battery. This is a 3.6 volt, 12.96 watt hour. It's got 3,600 milliamps. So they really upgraded the milliamps. I love seeing that. And I like to see that they put dual springs in here. You know, you got thick, coarse cut threads here. So threading this is easy to do, and they're going to be durable. They're not going to strip out as easy as fine threads. I really like to see that. It's IPX8 waterproof. There's your other front spring, so it's a dual spring light to help with shock. So I believe this thing is 1 meter impact resistant, so it can take some drops. I'm not saying to drop your light, but it should be able to take a nice drop here or there. It's got Type 3 hard anodized coating, and I love that coating. It just holds up over time. I've had several Klarus lights with that coating, and I can vouch for it. You know, I've had my keys, my knives and stuff scratch up against them, and it fares pretty well, all being said. So the battery meter over here is one of my favorite features. You can just tap it, turn it on, and it will let you know what level the light is at. So I think that a battery meter on a flashlight is an essential nowadays. So this is going to be more of a floodlight because the emitter is shallow. It's got orange peel on it. It does have a mineral glass lens with some AR coating on it, but it's more of a floodlight. You know, it does have a hot spot, but it also has, as you guys can see, it's got a hot spot, but it also has a lot of spill coming out around it. I would classify this as like not a cool white, but like a neutral cool white. It's kind of it's a really nice colored flashlight, you know. It's not super blue, it's not super yellow. It's very well done. I really like that. It does come with a belt pouch, and I must say, I like the Klarus belt pouches. You know, I've used them and used them and used them, and they're really good. They're really good for what you get. Of course, there are better aftermarket options, but to get you started out of the gates, these are great little deals. It does come with a micro USB cord, so you can recharge your light. I love to see that. You know, it's very thoughtful of them to do that. It comes with a lanyard and an extra O-ring, so your tail cap doesn't come off. The only way that this light comes apart is the emitter head comes off of your main body tube. So you only need one O-ring, which is really nice. And then back over here, this light is IPX8 waterproof, so there is a rubber boot that covers your micro USB port, and I haven't had any issues with water getting in or anything like that. Just after you're done using it, push it down. If you know you're going to be going out and getting it into the water or anything like that, as soon as you take it out of your belt pouch, your backpack, or your pocket, then push on here, make sure you've actually secured that down. You haven't rubbed it up against something and pulled your port plug out. And I haven't had any issues with that. The pocket clip is really sturdy and durable, so if you want to clip this on like a mic loop while you're at work, you can clip it, point it down, and use it on a clipboard. I've been doing that for years with my other Klarus lights, and I haven't lost one since or yet. It's been truly a useful function of this flashlight. So if you're looking for a flashlight for your EDC bag, your backpack, or your adventures, this is a great light. I would say it's more of a bag light or it's more of a belt light because it is pretty big for your pocket, but I want to say it's very compact for how much lumens you're going to be getting. You know, for the size factor, and then the 1800 lumens for momentary, you know, I wouldn't classify that as a long run time because of the heat. This light does get warm, and the ITS kicks in and really starts to downgrade that light output because of the temperature. So it protects the light, it protects the battery, and it protects you. I really like to see those safety features. So we'll take this out in the backyard. I'll show you some backyard footage, but big shout out and thank you to Flashlight Z for sending this down. Flashlight Z, you're freaking awesome. If you want to support videos like this, use the link in the description box below. Go over to Flashlight Z, pick one of these up. That'll help support the channel. But I must say, I am in love with this little Klarus G10. It reminds me of my G30, and I love the G30. So I would highly recommend you guys go check this out. And let's swing out in the backyard. I'll show you what this thing's like, and hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Alright, so we're out in the backyard with the Klarus G10. I must say, I absolutely love this light. I love the light levels that they've chosen. I love the size, the weight. This is low. Let's kick it up to medium. Give you something to look at, you know? So, it's got pretty good distance. You can start seeing some things. The camera's not picking it up as much as it should be. I'm not sure why that is. But let's kick it up to high. Now high, you can start seeing the shed out there. You can start seeing my black walnut tree. And let's give you the turbo. Everybody wants to see that. So 1800 lumens of turbo. This thing's brighter than most car headlights. I mean, this thing is throwing out a huge amount of light. Let's go walk out here to the tree and kind of give you an idea. But look at a huge black walnut tree is just spanning. But if you had to search for something, yeah, this light would be freaking fantastic, you know? One downside is the Klarus G10 does get extremely warm. It's putting out 1800 lumens. It doesn't really have the mass of metal to dissipate that heat, so the light does heat up. It's going to kick itself into ITS, so the 1800 lumens is not sustainable for a long runtime. Maybe if it was colder out, not summer, you know, you might be able to get away with it, but as of right now, this light is getting extremely warm. You know, it's starting to heat up my hand, so it's gonna have to get kicked down. So, but I really like this light. It's freaking fantastic. It's a great everyday carry light. It's a great outdoors light, and the micro USB recharging on here is fantastic. So I would highly recommend you guys go check this out. Big shout out and thank you to Flashlight Z for sending this down for us to check out. I absolutely love it. Oh my goodness, Klarus is getting some knockout lights. I mean, these things are fantastic, and that instant access to your 1800 lumens is just it's perfect. You push and hold on that tail switch and it just shoots out that 1800 lumens when you need it. Absolutely love it. So Nick here with Gear Nut. I would highly suggest you guys go check that link in the description box and get one of these lights. Big shout out and thank you to Flashlight Z for sending this down. This is a fantastic light. So Nick here with Gear Nut. I'll check you guys later.